Welcome to another Telltale Books video. I'm Greg, and I'm continuing my J.G. Ballard series, which I've been really digging into a lot lately, pushing forward a lot. And partly because I just absolutely love Ballard, and the other reason is because I'm trying to get through all the way up to the Drowned World so that Emily and I can read it together in December. So I've even got my Drowned World book ready to go, ready to read already, and only have, I think, 4 stories to cover before I can dig into Drowned World. So this is one of them. This is Passport to Eternity, which was published in the June 1962 issue of Amazing Stories under the editorship of Seeley Goldsmith again. The cover illustration here is not for the story. That it does have a really nice interior illustration done by an artist that I'm not really familiar with. I forget his name. But it is a good illustration. And I used it at the beginning of the video. So Passport to Eternity, what you have is a guy, he's a like a district attorney type person, but he's on Mars. And very wealthy, of course, because he has a very high up position. He has a wife, and they go on vacation every year, but he typically goes on the same vacation every year, and she's tired of it. She wants to try this DreamWorks or something like that agency that gives you whatever you want to dream. Well, he doesn't like the idea of that place because there's a lot of the vacation agencies that just are not on the up and up. So he gives it to his aide to research vacation agencies and come back with a list of legitimate vacation packages that he could reasonably take her on. So his aide gets him this list and he hands it to his wife to try and choose one. I'm not going to spoil the end. A little bit of a twist ending, a little bit of a surreal type ending, but surreal yet within the framework of the story, within the science fictional framework going on here, not surreal, very real, very much a part of this world, very much a possibility of this world. So the story, it's a comedy. Tell you that straight out. This is the first time that I can remember that Ballard has just written a straight out comedy. And it is a more traditional sort of science fiction story. Maybe because it was published in Amazing. I don't know. But it is a more traditional kind of science fiction story, but also a comedy. And a lot of science fiction comedies, the comedy is just, it's okay, but nothing you really laugh about, maybe a little bit of a chuckle. And some of it is just downright dumb. This story is actually funny. I was actually laughing. It is good. It's really good. Um, so far it's unique to what I know of Ballard's work at this point. He hasn't written anything before this that is anything like this story. Straightforward science fiction with a humorous bent to it. He's never done anything like this. Kind of showing his versatility in 1962 in general. He's doing a wide variety of things, kind of Dunsany style fantasy and, rewriting Fall of the House of Usher for a modern new wave science fiction story. And now this one, which is a much more traditional science fiction story with a lot of humor. Um, just kind of all over the place stuff. It's Ballard, it's his style, but it's not. These aren't typical Ballard necessarily. They're a little different, and I like that, showing a wider range to his writing than we've seen in previous years. This one's not getting a top tail, but it is a very good story and highly recommended. If you wanna laugh, read Passport to Eternity. You can, of course, get it in that issue of Amazing, or of course, the complete short stories of J.G. Ballard. Pretty much any of his short works are in there. I think there's just one or two that are not really short stories that weren't included in that book, but everything else is in there. Everything else is in that complete short stories book. So, have you ever read Passport to Eternity? What did you think? Put it in the comments. Let me know. I want to hear from you. And as always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Come on back for a lot more. The next Ballard coming up is a little bit longer. It's a novelette length. It's The Cage of Sand, which was this time published in New Worlds magazine. And I hope you'll join me for that and all the other Ballard and all the other stories that I talk about here on Telltale Books.